Hi friends, welcome back to Will Study Classes. So my dear friends, in this session we are going to talk about Income Tax Act 2025. So Income Tax Act 2025 has replaced the Income Tax Act of 1961. We are going to discuss the key highlights and the major changes that have been brought under this new tax law. So आइए फटाफट से अपना जो आज का डिस्कशन है उसे स्टार्ट करते हैं. Now let's briefly talk about the journey of Income Tax Act 2025. So you all might be knowing that 1st April 2026 is the date that this new act has come into force. But let's also talk about some other milestones in this journey. So initially, जो introduction हुआ था income tax bill का, this bill was initially introduced in Lok Sabha in February 2025, but it was withdrawn because some revisions have to be done. And after revisions it was again introduced and revised income tax bill लोक सभा में पास हुआ था जी अगस्त 2025 में, and राज्य सभा it was passed again in August 2025 and finally it got the presidential assent and इसे notify कर दिया गया in the Gazette of India in 21st August of 2025. So sometimes in some small examinations these kinds of facts may also be asked कि what was the date this act was notified in the Gazette of India, so you might also need to remember them. But the main date you have to remember कि 1st April 2026 is the date जब से आपका new income tax act has become effective. Now there will be different questions in your mind कि ओल्ड इनकम टैक्स एक्ट अब चेंज हो गया, खत्म हो गया, तो ओल्ड प्रोविजंस का क्या होगा. अब न्यू प्रोविजंस जो हैं आर दे डिफरेंट फ्रॉम द ओल्ड प्रोविजंस. Are there any changes in the heads of income? Are there changes in the sections? Are there changes in with regard to any other important provisions like PAN was there, assessment year, previous year, these kinds of terms were there. So are there any changes? Yes, there are some changes. Broadly आपका structure same है, broadly the structure remains same, but there are some important changes जो हमें मालूम होने चाहिए examination perspective से, and we are going to talk about them in this session. So first let's talk about what were the intentions behind Income Tax Act 2026. So हमारे पास old Act 1961 already available था. So हम नया act क्यों लेकर आए? What was the reason behind this new law? Because we have to simplify the statutory language. In the 1961 wala act, the language was very complex, very technical, so there were a lot of litigations. समझ में नहीं आता था आसानी से, बहुत सारे litigations होते थे, तो they had to be simplified. Next, to improve the structural clarity. सो ओल्ड एक्ट के अंदर आपके बहुत सारे अमेंडमेंट्स आ चुके थे एंड उसका स्ट्रक्चर जो है ना इट वाज डिस्टॉर्टेड, पूरी तरीके से हिल चुका था उसका स्ट्रक्चर. एंड सो देयर वाज अ नीड कि न्यू एक्ट लाया जाए व्हिच वुड remove all the fragmentations and would consolidate all the sections and provisions in a logical and systematic manner. Next is to reduce interpretational disputes. So there were many ambiguities and unnecessary provisions, overlapping provisions जो कि old act में देखने को मिल रहे थे, which were leading to certain disputes between taxpayers and tax authorities. तो ये सारे disputes को minimize करने के लिए, कम करने के लिए the Income Tax Act 2026 was brought into force to align with the modern legislative standards. So old act was very old. So now we had to come up with a new law which was in line with the new drafting style, जो आज के स्टाइल से फ्रेम किया हो, उसमें आज की मॉडर्न लैंग्वेज का इस्तेमाल किया हो, क्लैरिटी और ज्यादा आ जाए. With all these things in mind, this new act was brought into force. Further, another objective was to enhance the voluntary compliance. If the act is in a simple language, everybody would be able to understand it. तो हर कोई समझ सकेगा इसके प्रोविजंस को and everybody would voluntarily comply with these provisions. So these were all the main intentions behind Income Tax Act 2026. Now let's talk about the structural simplification of the new act. तो यहाँ पे आपके पास ओल्ड एक्ट का स्ट्रक्चर भी आपको देखने को मिल रहा है एंड न्यू एक्ट का स्ट्रक्चर भी आपको देखने को मिल रहा है. So in the Income Tax Act 1961 there were total 819 sections. 819 sections हमारे पास थे. But now in the Income Tax Act 2025 we have 536 sections. So there is a 35% reduction in the number of sections. Then if you talk about schedules, they have been slightly increased from 14, they have gotten to 16. Rules, they have also been reduced. Forms, they have also been drastically reduced. So you would also find कि forms के number में भी change हुआ है. तो पहले आपके जो forms रहते थे TDS से regarding आपके different approvals के regarding, तो वो जो सारे forms हैं उनके numbering में भी you will find कि the numbering of the forms has also changed as per the new act. Now let's talk about the key features of Income Tax Act 2025. तो मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट प्रोविजन जो इस एक्ट के अंदर हमें देखने को मिलता है, दैट इज द इंट्रोडक्शन ऑफ द कंसेप्ट ऑफ टैक्स ईयर. तो अर्लियर वी हैड डिफरेंट कंसेप्ट्स, प्रीवियस ईयर एंड असेसमेंट ईयर का कंसेप्ट चलता था. एंड फ्रैंकली स्पीकिंग, कोई भी नॉर्मल पर्सन के लिए, कोई भी जनरल पर्सन के लिए विदाउट कॉमर्स बैकग्राउंड, इट वाज वेरी डिफिकल्ट टू अंडरस्टैंड कि असेसमेंट ईयर व्हाई इट इज 1 year ahead of the previous year. So it was very difficult for them to understand. So now we have replaced this assessment year and previous year ka confusion, and now there is only one term. We only have tax year ka concept. Tax year ka concept has been introduced for more clarity. We are going to talk about it on the coming slide. Next, we have the power to frame schemes. Now, under this act, the power has been given to the central government कि अगर आपको कोई new schemes बनाना है for improving efficiency, transparency, accountability of tax administration, then yes, central government can frame new schemes. Then the compliance has been simplified. We already know कि आपका जो language है, wording है, it has been simplified. So provisions also have been simplified. Certain provisions are grouped together. जैसे पहले TDS के लिए there were lots and lots of sections relating to TDS, but now all these have been consolidated and grouped together. So anybody can easily understand these provisions and can easily comply with the law. Next, we have digital first enforcement. So digital India we talk about. So this act also covers digital platforms, email, cloud, social media, ये सारे platforms को cover कर रहा है. And it also expands the scope of virtual digital assets like cryptocurrency and all. So they also have been elaborately covered under the new law. Then for dispute resolution, अगर लड़ाई झगड़े हो जाए, उनको भी तो resolve करना है. For resolving them, it talks about a more efficient and a taxpayer friendly system. So अगर आपका system taxpayer friendly होगा, so taxpayer will feel happy with the new law, and this is at the core of Income Tax Act 2025. So now let's try to understand this concept of tax year, a very interesting, a new concept in Income Tax Act 2025. I have also compared it with the Income Tax Act 1961 वाला concept. Earlier, you know, हमारे पास दो terms रहते थे, previous year and assessment year. और प्रीवियस ईयर असेसमेंट ईयर में कंफ्यूजन हो जाया करता था. बट नाउ वी ओनली हैव वन टर्म, टैक्स ईयर. सो टैक्स ईयर बेसिकली डिनोट्स द ईयर इन विच यू हैव अर्नड द इनकम. फॉर एग्जांपल, इफ आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट my financial year 26-27, I am going to refer it my tax year 26-27 as per the Income Tax Act of 2025. Okay, तो अभी कोई previous year assessment year अलग अलग से नहीं होंगे. Only tax year I am going to use whenever I have to say something about financial year 26-27 का income, I am going to use the term tax year. So tax year is basically the year in which the income is earned. Now there is no concept of assessment year. This assessment year का concept has gone redundant, अब useless हो चुका है. Tax year is going to serve the purpose of both previous year and assessment year. तो पहले आपके पास previous year was the financial year and next year was the assessment year, but now there is only single tax year. Okay, so earlier, if the income of financial year 25-26 I was talking about, I would say it will be assessed in 26-27 assessment year. But now for the purpose of income of financial year 26-27, I will say कि इसका assessment आपका tax year 26-27 में होगा. So things have become very very simple now. In case of a newly set up business, this tax year can even be less than a financial year. तो अगर आपके माइंड में ऐसा कंफ्यूजन आ रहा है कि यार टैक्स ईयर फाइनेंशियल ईयर तो सेम ही है, तो we can use them interchangeably. No, if you are setting up a new business, your tax year can be less than a financial year. So if you are setting up a business on 1st of December 2026, your tax year will be from 1st December 2026 to 31st March 2027. So I believe आपको tax year का जो concept है वो समझ में आ गया होगा, and you would feel कि now it's really easy because now you don't have to get confused between previous year and assessment year. Now you might be wondering, it is Income Tax Act 2025, so it might come into force from April 2025. No, Income Tax Act 2025 did not come into force from 1st April 2025. Instead, it came into force from 1st April 2026. So all the incomes which you are earning from 1st April 2026, this is the date, this is the date. All the incomes being earned from 1st April 2026, now they will be governed by the Income Tax Act 2025 and will be assessed for tax year 26-27. तो आपका जो first tax year होगा under the new law will be tax year 26-27. 31st March 2026 के जो भी आपके incomes हैं, all the incomes earned for the period 2025 to 31st March 2026 will be assessed as per the Income Tax Act 1961 and all the incomes जो आप earn करेंगे अप्रैल 2026 के बाद they will be assessed as per the Income Tax Act of 2025. I hope the confusion is clear. The D date is now clear to you. Now let's also talk about some important points क्योंकि आपके माइंड में बहुत सारे क्वेश्चंस आ रहे होंगे कि what about PAN and TAN which were there in the old income tax, are they gone now? What about the provisions related to TDS, advanced tax, self-assessment tax or regular assessment? What about the old circulars, notifications, etc.? What about the old benefits or liabilities? If any refund was due in the old act, will I get it? क्या वो मुझे refund मिलेगा कि नहीं मिलेगा? क्या मेरा कोई अमाउंट अगर पेबल था अंडर द ओल्ड एक्ट, विल आई स्टिल बी रिक्वायर्ड टू पे इट, या वो मेरा बच जाएगा, आई विल नॉट बी रिक्वायर्ड टू पे इट? सो बहुत सारे क्वेश्चंस आपके माइंड में आ रहे होंगे एंड वी हैव इलेबोरेट क्लैरिफिकेशंस, वी हैव प्रॉपर ट्रांजिशनल प्रोविजंस अंडर द न्यू एक्ट. तो आपका जो एक्सिस्टिंग पैन टैन नंबर्स हैं दे आर गोइंग टू रिमेन वैलिड, वो बिल्कुल आपका वैलिड रहेगा और न्यू एक्ट में भी चलेगा. हालांकि आपके फॉर्म जो है एप्लीकेशन के उसमें चेंज आ जाएगा बट कंसेप्ट विल रिमेन सेम अंडर द न्यू लॉ. इसके बाद the core obligation to pay income tax. You pay income tax through different means by TDS, TCS, advanced tax, self-assessment tax, regular assessment. So all these concepts, the basic concepts are going to remain same. In case sections will be changed, but the basic concepts would remain the same. Further, all the circulars, notifications, instructions, approvals जो आपको पुराने एक्ट के अंदर मिले हुए थे. Let's suppose there was some circular under the old law. It will still apply, it will still continue, but वो new act के साथ conflict में नहीं होना चाहिए. If it is in conflict with the new law, then the old circular or provision will not apply. But if it is not in conflict with the new law, it is further clarifying it, it is still going to apply. आपको कोई approval मिला हुआ था पहले, तो approval भी आपका continue रहेगा. Further, आपके जो भी rights, benefits, obligations और liabilities हैं related to the old act are going to continue to exist. So if you had any refund under the old act, you are still entitled to that refund. तो आपका refund गायब नहीं हो जाएगा, you are still going to get the refund. Further, if any amount was payable under the old law, you will still be required to pay it. ऐसा नहीं है कि आपका अमाउंट पेबल था तो अभी न्यू एक्ट खत्म हो चुका है तो आपको भी पे नहीं करना पड़ेगा. You will still be required to pay it. And also, all the provisions of the law will apply. जो भी आपका प्रोसीडिंग 1 अप्रैल 2026 से पहले का चल रहा था, it will continue under the old law. 1 अप्रैल 2026 या उसके बाद कोई आपका असेसमेंट हो रहा है, any proceedings have been initiated for the preceding years, आपके 31st मार्च 2026 तक के ईयर्स के any assessment or any proceeding is introduced. For example, you get any notice, you get a notice for assessment, rectification, penalty or any appeal is pending. So all the previous years के जो आपके notices हैं, assessments हैं, proceedings हैं, they are still going to continue as per the provisions of old law. तो ओल्ड लॉ के जो प्रोविजंस है ना, इट डज नॉट मीन कि अभी खत्म हो जाएंगे, दे विल नॉट अप्लाई, दे विल कंटिन्यू टू अप्लाई इन रिस्पेक्ट ऑफ जो आपके ओल्ड प्रोसीडिंग्स यहाँ पे चल रहे हैं. ओल्ड प्रोसीडिंग्स के लिए ओल्ड लॉ के प्रोविजंस ही चलेंगे. जो न्यू प्रोसीडिंग्स इनिशिएट होंगे आपके न्यू टैक्स ईयर के लिए, फॉर द न्यू टैक्स ईयर न्यू प्रोविजंस विल बी एप्लीकेबल. Now let's discuss some examples so you are able to better understand this point. Here we have an example. Suppose a taxpayer, he filed his return for financial year 24-25. The income tax department has issued a notice in May 2026 for reassessment. Now you have to tell me whether this assessment will be done as per the provisions of Income Tax Act 2025 or as per the old law. कौन सा एक्ट यहाँ पे अप्लाई होगा? You have to tell me. आई होप आपने सही गेस किया, यू हैव गेस्ड इट राइट. इफ यू आर सेइंग कि सर ये तो ओल्ड एक्ट ही लगेगा, द ओल्ड एक्ट विल अप्लाई बिकॉज ये नोटिस जो है आपका इट हैज बीन रिसीव्ड in May 2026 but it relates to the old financial year. It relates to your income in 24-25 in which your old income tax act was applicable. So you have to understand this point. Now here we have another example. A penalty case for financial year 23-24 is still pending on 1st April 2026. तो अभी आपको बताना है whether it will be converted into the provisions of new act or it will now not continue to apply, ये आपका खत्म हो जाएगा penalty का case, or whether it will continue as per the provisions of old act. Now because again this relates to financial year 23-24 जब आपका old act apply करता था, तो now it is going to continue under the old act, not the new act. Now here we have a list of important chapters and sections under the Income Tax Act of 2025. तो अगर हम chapters की बात करें तो we start with preliminary, then we have the basis of charge, then we have incomes not forming part of total income which are basically your exempt income. And साथ में आप उनके sections भी देख सकते हैं. So exempt income के जो आपके sections हैं, they are section 11 to 12. Then we have computation of total income in which we have different heads of income, and these are from section 13 to 95. Then we have income of other person included in the assessee's income. So ये आपका basically clubbing of income है. तो provisions are there from section 96 to 100. We have provisions of set off and carry forward of losses from section 108 to 121. Deductions, जो आपके deductions होते थे section 80C होता था Income Tax Act 1961 में. Now these sections are going to change. We have sections from 122 to 154 related to these deductions, and we also have certain provisions related to rebates, relief and special provisions. Other chapters are also there, but जो मेरे को important chapters और important sections लगे वो मैंने यहाँ पे आपको include कर दिए. Now here we have the 5 heads of income under the Income Tax Act of 2025. तो आपके जो पुराने 5 heads of income होते थे, they are still going to continue under the new act. The income heads, they are your income from salary, house property, profit and gain from business profession, capital gain and other sources. तो old जो आपके titles थे, they are still going to continue, but sections are going to change. आपके sections में change आ गया. आपके सैलरी के सेक्शन है 15 to 19, हाउस प्रॉपर्टी सेक्शन 20 to 25, PGBP is from section 26 to 66, capital gain is from 67 to 91, and income from other sources is from section 92 to 95. तो आपके जो सेक्शन रेंज है, it has now changed. Further, if we talk about the rationalization of TDS sections, so under the old act we had so many sections with regard to TDS, and now these sections, they have been consolidated, they have been rationalized. तो हमारे पास यहाँ पे अभी एक section 392 है which talks about TDS on salary, and section 393 है which talks about all other TDS provisions. So all other TDS provisions have been consolidated and put under this section 393. तो आपका जो TDS है on dividend, rent, commission, technical services, so ये सारे TDS, they are clubbed under this section 393. For the purpose of implementing Income Tax Act 2025, new Income Tax Rules 2026 have also been introduced and they have come into effect from 1st of April 2026. तो आपका जो Income Tax Act था वो भी इनफोर्स आ चुका है, एंड इनकम टैक्स रूल्स 2026 दे हैव आल्सो कम इनटू फोर्स. तो इनकम टैक्स एक्ट के अंदर देयर आर लॉट्स ऑफ प्रोविजंस इन व्हिच वी हैव टू फॉलो सर्टेन रूल्स, एंड दीज रूल्स दे प्रोवाइड फर्दर गाइडेंस हाउ टू अप्लाई द इनकम टैक्स एक्ट. And the key changes which are there under the new rules, they include, अभी आपके जो exemptions limit होते हैं, they have been increased. We have higher exemption limits for children education allowance, hostel allowance, meal exemption under the old regime if you are continuing with the old regime. Further, the threshold requirements which were there for quoting of your PAN. So अगर आपका transaction एक limit से ऊपर होता है, if you are exceeding certain limit, you have to quote your PAN. But now these limits have been changed, they have been updated. Further, if you remember calculation of HRA, हाउस रेंट अलाउंस, तो हाउस रेंट अलाउंस का जो एग्जम्पशन होता था, इन दैट एग्जम्पशन वी हैड सम सिटीज, दिल्ली, मुंबई, चेन्नई, कोलकाता, जहां पे आपको ज्यादा एग्जम्पशन मिल जाता था. Now in this list some new cities have been added. So Hyderabad, Pune, Ahmedabad, Bangalore, they have also been added to the list of cities where you can claim higher exemption under HRA. Now here we have a concept check MCQ. Consider the following statements regarding Income Tax Act 2025. Statement number 1 है, the act replaces the concept of assessment year and previous year with a unified tax year. The provisions of the repealed Income Tax Act cease to apply to all the proceedings from 1st April 2026, and only the new act governs all such cases irrespective of the tax year involved. The act emphasizes digital first enforcement by recognizing virtual digital space and expanding the scope of virtual digital assets. So you have to tell me which statements are correct and which is not correct. If you are thinking कि sir all the statements are correct, then you are wrong, because जो आपका स्टेटमेंट नंबर 2 है वो सही नहीं है, इट इज नॉट करेक्ट. स्टेटमेंट नंबर 2 आपका गलत है. क्यों गलत है स्टेटमेंट नंबर 2? बिकॉज the old income tax act will apply for the old tax years. New income tax act will not apply for the old tax years. So स्टेटमेंट नंबर 2 आपको बोल रहा है कि जो भी आपके प्रोसीडिंग्स पेंडिंग है उन पे आपका न्यू टैक्स ईयर का न्यू इनकम टैक्स एक्ट ही लगेगा, बट नो, आपके जो भी प्रोसीडिंग्स पेंडिंग है प्रीवियस टैक्स ईयर्स के, उन पे आपका ओल्ड इनकम टैक्स एक्ट ही लगेगा. इट विल कंटिन्यू टू अप्लाई. सो सेकंड स्टेटमेंट आपका गलत है. 1 and 3 आर करेक्ट. सो करेक्ट आंसर वुड बी ऑप्शन नंबर ए. So thank you, my dear friends. This was all about our discussion on Income Tax Act 2025. तो I hope कि आपको एक आइडिया मिल गया कि Income Tax Act 2025 what are the important provisions, what are the key highlights. और अभी थोड़ा सा आपका टेंशन भी कम हो गया because Income Tax Act 2025 is more or less similar to Income Tax Act 1961. तो if you have not studied the Income Tax Act 2025 तो वो similar lines पे ही रहने वाला है. हालांकि आपके जो sections हैं, forms हैं, they are going to be changed, but the conceptual part is going to remain same. So without any tension, now you can proceed with the detailed understanding of the Income Tax Act 2025. We'll meet again with a new topic in next session. Till then, goodbye, take care, all the best.